this weekend.
Couple, actually,
yeah, and we're going to talk about both of them. But Phil, you watched one of them that I didn't watch. Mm-hmm. So I want to know what you think about it, because the fanfare for it doesn't exist. People don't really like this movie very much. But Phil, I want to know what you thought about The Bride. Mm-hmm. Phil, The Bride. What did you think? As a sequel to Frankenstein, Phil. What did you think of The Bride?
Yeah, well, just in case for all them fact checkers, we're not serious. It wasn't a sequel to Frankenstein. Not Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, please.
Or was it?
But this movie was... I'm on the fence about it.
Ooh, Phil on the fence. Okay.
I'm definitely on the fence. I'm over here trying to catch the ball.
You guys, all I'm saying is, a movie is a movie when Phil's on the fence about it.
Yeah, so it had moments. Well, I'm not going to lie.
Moments.
It had moments where I really was rooting for the characters, and then it had moments where I got a little bit lost on the grand scheme. If you guys don't know, The Bride is about... Well, The Bride, played by Jessie Buckley, and Frankenstein, played by Christian Bale.
Cool.
And it is a different adaptation of the Frankenstein story, where it's told in the POV of The Bride. And that was already interesting me because, one, I saw Hamnet, and I heard Jessie Buckley was playing The Bride, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely there. Come on now. She's probably going to win Best Leading Actress, just saying. And two, Christian Bale. He's in it, so I had to watch it. But I was also curious on what the grand scheme of this whole movie is going to be, because I know from the trailers it's all about the romance, and that was the thing that was selling me. But then it introduced some things in it where I was kind of on the fence about it, where I was kind of like, I don't know if this worked fully with it. I don't know if this should have been in there. Mm-hmm. And I just want to go out the way, go with the positives. Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale, their romance was good. Their chemistry was really good, because The Bride, the way she gets introduced into the movie was so cool. Like, I'm going to be for real. To me, it was very cool. She's this woman who is, I don't want to say she was a prostitute. I don't think so. But she gets killed. And the way she transforms into the bride, it's kind of hard to say. Like, at the beginning, you get this weird monologue from, I believe it was her playing Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein. And then she is, you're wondering why we're getting this whole monologue at the start, but then she's talking about, oh, the story's going to change. And then you have Ida come in, who is the bride, and Mary Shelley is possessing her in a way, like getting into her mind, making her change slowly. And then I'm getting hyped because I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like, Mary Shelley's transporting herself or like getting into the bride. That's pretty cool. So Ida dies, and it's getting me hyped because that was kind of the title sequence of it opening up, and it shows the bride, and then it flashes over to Frankenstein, and it's like, whoa, like, all right, what happened? What's going on with the Mary Shelley thing? That's one of the things that kind of annoyed me. Mm-hmm. So they open up this scene with Mary Shelley, like, going into Ida's body, and it seems like they're going to share it, but then they kind of don't really play with that more throughout the movie. Like, it comes up sometimes, but they go away from that, which kind of annoyed me, because I thought that was one of the coolest things in the movie. I'm like, you're telling me Mary Shelley's becoming, like, the bride? That's nuts. That's really cool. I like that if that's really the thing happening. But they don't really play into that. Christian Bale's Frank, I thought was really nice, because his whole thing, just like Frankenstein and the other movies, or even in Creature Commandos, remember? With the whole, like, I want my companion, and he's chasing after the bride. That was pretty much this, but it was way more sweeter, and you actually felt for him. He wasn't like a super huge creep. He was more like a guy you could understand, in my opinion, why he wants a companion. Mm-hmm. And Christian Bale did a very good job of showcasing, like, the sweet side and also the sick side of Frankenstein. Because, I mean, Frankenstein has his rage moments. And I mean, Christian Bale, you know, he's Batman. Whenever he rages, he has that voice. And so you hear that. With yeah, well, kind of. But I really like the scenes where he was being sweet and was trying to take care of the bride. Because she's this wild, like, character. And every time certain things would happen, he was there for her. And he was there, like, trying to help her out. And also trying to explain who he is. And I thought that was really nice. That's why it differs from the Creature Commandos version, where he's just a weirdo. Like, just a straight crazy weirdo. But I don't know. I think the discourse, because I'm telling you the romance side, there's other stuff to it that I just really feel like didn't go, like, shouldn't have been in it. Like, Penelope Cruz and Peter Sarsgaard are in this movie, and they play two detectives, and they're investigating those two. And I feel like that side of it didn't have to be in there. It honestly, any scene that showed those two coming into it bored the heck out of me. Like, really just shouldn't have been in there. But I don't know. Like, I've seen people's reviews saying it was, like, very directionless.
Mm-hmm. Like, and that's what I wanted to ask you. I was going to ask, like, I hear a lot of people saying the script is kind of all over the place. It feels like a mess. Did you feel that?
In a way, yes. But at the same time, I think the grand scheme of this was the romance, which I think was the main goal of this movie. That's why I'm thinking, yes, there were extra things that were in it that made it a little bit over the top. But I think the story of the romance of the bride and Frank worked, honestly. Like, it accomplished its goal. And that's the sole thing I could see and focus on that was good. Like, the other stuff that was mentioned in it, it was pretty small that I don't feel like it really fully ruined it. But as long as the romance, as long as I can follow that, as long as that didn't change too much, I think it still accomplished its goal. But it's nowhere near a perfect movie. Like, it has its problems, but I don't think it was directionless. I think it just had just a little bit too much on the side of it. But for the grand scheme, the romance of it, I think it nailed it. I think it did, because Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale killed it.
Right.
Like, they really did.
What would you give a score?
I'm going to have to go with a low 6 out of 10.
Low 6 out of 10?
I'm going to have to. Only because, like I said, when the other stuff does happen, that really does ruin it for me. But there's so many more scenes of Christian Bale and Jessie Buckley being the bride and Frankenstein, and their moments that make it so much better. Like, really do. And that's the thing I liked about it. But, yeah, I have to stick with a 6 out of 10.
Okay. Here's my question. If they cut out a lot of that, like, if they cut off a lot of that bloat, a lot of that, like, sounds like side plots.
Yeah.
You bring up the detective stuff. Is there any other stuff? Is it just that mainly?
Yeah, it's honestly that. The mob boss thing they had was okay. It didn't bother me too much because it played into the bride and what she, like, a situation she caused. So I kind of like that. But it just, those two as detectives really were just bothering me because I feel like they just didn't have to be in there.
So you think you cut out the bloat, you think this movie would be better?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so. The movie probably would be better if you cut out the bloat.
Did you feel the length? It's not super long. I looked. It's like 2 hours, 6 minutes.
I didn't feel the length. I honestly was expecting it to be longer because of all the stuff going on, because I was thinking it was going to play a bigger, like, factor into it. Because they do, one of the things I did like that I thought could have been fleshed out more was they were making the bride, like, an icon for women, and they made, like, this, group that was like doing their makeup like the bride, doing their hair like the bride, dressing like the bride, and they started like causing mischief for a second. I thought that was pretty cool because I'm like, okay, like she was being treated badly, she sees other women being treated badly, like she could be a role model for women. I think that's tough, and if that turns into a whole group, I honestly would like that, but it doesn't get fleshed out more than that when they show you the scene of them like going crazy in the city. I thought it was gonna get into more of a thing. Maybe she becomes their leader and actually like it was almost like Harley Quinn. Kind of remind me of that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't extend after that. It doesn't do anything more after that. It gets mentioned and then poof. And it annoyed me.
Interesting.
Because I thought it was cool. I was like, yo, the bride being an icon, I'm down for that. Or the bride, maybe even Frankenstein, but you know, it's called the bride. So
with the movie doing all of these different things, by the end, right, without spoiling anything, obviously, because the movie is pretty new, do you feel like it at least sort of comes together in a weird, like, Frankenstein way? Like, they kind of stitch a bunch of stuff together? Or do you think, like, it just, like, falls apart completely at the end?
I think the romance stayed consistent throughout the whole thing. Like, even when the certain thing happens, I believe that was accomplished very well to end it. But the other side stuff, not too well.
No?
I'm going to say no.
Dang, dude. That's rough. That's so unfortunate, because I think there was a lot of... I think there was really high expectations for this movie based on the trailers. It seemed like, how was this presentation? Because I feel like it trailers really well. Okay, that's what I figured. Really good. Okay, like there was so much of that going in. Great cast, you know. Oh, who's the director? I forget.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
What has she done?
I believe this is her second movie.
Oh,
I don't remember the first one she did.
Because I feel like it was something major, or like it was like a really good.
She has directed The Lost Daughter and Homemade, which was a TV miniseries. I haven't seen The Lost Daughter, but that was made in 2021, and this is her second movie that she's done.
Okay.
The Bride.
Then maybe I'm incorrect, but okay, I know why. I didn't realize. I completely blanked on who Maggie Gyllenhaal was. I didn't realize she was an actress. I completely forgot she was in The Dark Knight, if I'm being honest. But anyways.
I'm trying to remember her line. What was the line? Shoot.
It doesn't matter. Regardless, I just completely blanked on that. But yeah, okay, like good. Do you think she at least has like a good future? Like it's like a future directing career? Like do you think there's potential there and it was just sort of a weird script?
I'd say for sure there's potential there. Like I think that her presentation and even just like the way things were shot, the way things were edited together, really good. Like there is something there with The Bride. Like it's not an all-out horrible movie. It's just that there was just a little bit too much going on in the background. Okay. If it was solely about the romance fully, I feel like this would have been received better. But, you know, people are people. They gonna hate.
They gonna hate, Phil. Anything else you want to say on The Bride exclamation point?
Honestly, if you all loved, weirdly enough, Wuthering Heights, I feel like you'd probably like The Bride.
Same vibe?
In a way, yes, but I kind of like this more than Wuthering Heights. So I'll put it there. But if you want to see a romance movie that's a little bit sick, The Bride is for you. If you want to see Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale going insane and also doing really good acting, this movie is for you. But I would definitely watch this in theaters. Like this, it looks really good, and the way things are shot, it's really awesome. So I would definitely go see. I would highly suggest people go see this in theaters.